Shrug family, this week on Barbell Shrugged, a fun one. The homies are back. We're talking about Travis Mash's abs. If you haven't seen these things on Instagram, it's absurd. You got a guy, he squats like 700 pounds, and dude has like a 9-pack, and each one looks like a loaf of bread. You can't go and squat that much weight without having just like bricks inside there. It's gonna be fun. You'll laugh. You'll have fun. You're gonna hang out with us. It's gonna be incredible. This is what we like to do. This is like, if you were just sit down and have a cup of coffee with us in the morning, this is what it sounds like. As always, friends, make sure you get over to rapidhealthreport.com. That is where Dan Garner, Dr. Andy Galpin are doing a free lab, lifestyle, and performance analysis. You can access that over at rapidhealthreport.com. Friends, let's get into the show. Welcome to Barbell Shrugged. I'm Anders Varner. Doug Larson, Coach Travis Mash. The homies are back. Today, we're talking about Travis Mash's abs.
I never thought I would be saying that again.
I hope when Colton cuts this intro, there's like the sexual healing song in the back. When I get that feeling, I just turn on Travis Mash's Instagram. Dude, did you set out to get super shredded, or is this like just a symptom of a healthy lifestyle that you have adopted?
Yeah, I think it's a symptom of a healthy lifestyle. And I got my hip, in January. And so I just decided to, get back into great shape. Yeah, it's lucky what we do, Barbell Shrug. And we hear so many great people. And so I've learned so much, like about sleep, like Chris Perry, that guy has like helped me the most getting my sleep dialed in. And anyway, one thing led to another. And I just, I don't know about you guys, but when you have the hip surgery and I'm 52 and, people are like, I think you probably won't squat again. Like that's of all the things that freaks me out, thinking I can't do something. And so that got me training but I didn't want to just be I never want to be like the old powerlifter where I just lift, but started training hard. Kept my cardio up, listening to Andy, talking about the characteristics, the 9 traits of physical fitness. They talks about, anaerobic, aerobic, all the different muscular endurance, power, strength, speed, all those things. And so I just started sticking to it, and it's just fun being able to play basketball with my kids and being able to, to run or walk a mile and not be, pissed. I remember when we were in Miami and we were walking, I was getting so pissed because we kept walking. I'm like, man, I'm a lifter. I don't walk this much. And so my wife was like, man, you got to do better than this. But it feels good to be 52 and to be in the best shape. I guess it's in 30s.
Yeah, like if you added in the cardiovascular side of thing, like cardiovascular health and movement and like all that training that you're doing.
Yeah.
I would imagine you might actually be in the healthiest / best shape of your life.
I am. No doubt. Since 20s, maybe, like when my wife met me in 2006, I was mentally unhealthy, but I was pretty physically fit because I was getting ready for bobsled. So that was the last time she ever saw me with abs until now. And so that was 2006. So here we are, 2025, almost 20 years later. So it's not a complete bait and switch. I've always laughed that bait and switched her, but so here we are. Abs
Wait,
again.
so you decided to compete in powerlifting again, and you want to compete at 198?
198. Yes.
Yeah. So you're trying to just make a weight class, and then the abs are like a result of that, or was it like
Right.
I also want to be lean? Like even if I'm smaller and leaner, like my strength won't be as high, but I'm not worried about strength. Even though I'm competing in powerlifting, strength isn't like the all the way focus. It's like this holistic view of life as opposed to just trying to hit the highest numbers possible.
Well, I still like at 198, I want to be competitive, but like at 198, I know I can be lean. It's like, for me to be lean at 220, I would have to bulk, and I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do what I have to do because I'm 5'6", so like really, there's no way I can say that I can be healthy at 5'6" and be weighing 240 and cutting to 220. That's just a walking heart attack. But I can be like barely above 200 and lean, and I feel like I hold that well. And I feel like I can go rucking and I can go mountain biking with you guys without being destroyed. And
sure.
That was another turning point too.
That's right.
Not about that. That was the safest thing you ever did. Not going mountain biking.
I was just, man, I was so
Being
mad.
fat and out of shape is nice when you don't have to separate your shoulder.
Yeah, at least I didn't separate my shoulder. That was,
We're
I
glad.
was so out of
We're glad
shape.
you hit the jump first. You showed us all. We shouldn't go on that jump.
Oh no, dude,
Oh
straight
no,
down.
he just
God.
disappeared off a cliff.
Oh, so
That
Yo,
day
wait,
though,
yeah.
there was probably like 12 things that I was supposed to get hurt doing until I finally hurt myself.
yeah.
Like that was
It's just a matter of
like
time.
yeah, uh the broker that we were working with at Walmart down there took
Uh-huh.
us like way past the skill level
Yeah.
that we should have been riding our bikes at. That was like
Absolutely.
I was like taking somebody surfing in San Diego and I was like, you want to ride the 12 footers today? Like
Not at all.
this is like
No.
the normal thing. I remember there
We,
was like
we also didn't fight him though. He was like, "You guys want to go to the jump park?" We were like, "Hell yeah, I want to go to the jump
Yeah.
park. Let's do this." And
yeah, I
Travis was like,
assumed we were going
"No."
to like the kids
I was
park or
like,
something. Like he took us to a place and it was like, yeah, I'll go. I'll try. I remember there was like one start where we had to like, it felt like I was going over the handlebars for sure to get down. And
seriously.
we had to like a sharp turn right to get to the thing. And it was like, that was scary. But I guess this is like the intro step. He knows we suck at this. Like, why? Sure enough, here we go.
That,
We're going to the hospital.
that's another thing I've noticed aging is like when I was your age, even or especially in my 30s, there was no limit. I had zero limits. Like I wasn't afraid of anything. And then all of a sudden I started finding myself afraid of things like that time that we went mountain biking. And I'm like, I don't like that about I did not like this whole turning point. So I started forcing myself to do hard things again, which will help HRV indirectly by being, I was afraid of like cold stuff. Like I didn't want to get in the
Mm,
cold and like is I just felt myself trending not on a good path. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm just not gonna do that.
hmm
I'm not gonna spend the last couple decades or three of my life being afraid of everything. And so I just grabbed hold of things, especially when I got done with school, boys, like you do have to have a certain balance so you can mentally do these things. You got to
Yeah.
prepare, you know, you got to breathe and like take control of your life and say, I'm going to do hard things again. And I'm going to do it on purpose and actually put them in your life. Make
Yeah.
yourself do
hmm
them. Yeah.
Do you
Sure.
feel like your life is easier because it's like structured now? Like you're not there's like I would imagine you know what you're going to eat every day. You don't have to
I
worry about
do.
like what time you're going to go to bed or the things you're going to be you just it's so simple once you just uh it's not even like have a goal. It's like the standard of living that you are accepting of. You don't have to worry about all the extra stuff. You just don't do it.
I love it, man. I love like when my kids now we used to homeschool, and so that gives too many variables. We could do it. I like them being in. Now we're doing a private school, but I like the fact that we got to get up at this time, go to bed at this time, and like it makes it easy for me to do, even though it's summertime right now. But we've done a good job of keeping the same structure of going to bed at 8:30. Of like I read them a story. Like yesterday that with talking with Dr. Perry, I'm
hmm
definitely going to implement that. Like I'm going to be done eating at 6:30 and then it's family time. And I'm going to commit from 6:30 to 8:30. We're going to go outside and play. And then we're going to have at 8 o'clock, they'll go brush their teeth. At 8:30, I'll sit them down and I'll read them this book and pray with them. And so, yeah, I took a lot away from, I can't wait I don't know when this will be released, but
I think
listen to the podcast again.
Yo,
your abs seem
last night.
very not impressive compared to the fact that you can get your kids down to bed early and easy. That sounds incredible. We should change the subject of the show immediately.
Yeah, well, if I read them a book that they like, and like we have a good time though with it. They love me reading the story or telling. They love me telling stories more than anything. Like if I'll
hmm
tell them a story about when I was a kid with their uncle KJ, that's their favorite. Then they'll go to bed right. They go to bed at 7 p.m. if I'll do that, and so
hmm
which I will sometimes, but some of them it's not PG enough yet. So
Sure.
as they get older, they'll hear more and more of those. But yeah,
Dr. Andy Galpin here. As a listener of the show, you've probably heard us talking about the Arate program, which we're all incredibly proud of. It's a culmination of everything Dan Garner and I have learned over more than 2 decades of working with some of the world's most elite performers, award-winning athletes, billionaires, musicians, executives, and frankly, anyone who just wanted to be at their absolute best. Arate is not a normal coaching program. It's not just macros and a workout plan. It's not physique transformation and pre and post pictures. Arate is something completely different. Arate is incredibly comprehensive and designed to uncover your unique molecular signature, find your performance anchors, and solve them permanently. You'll be working with not one person, but rather a full team of elite professionals, each with their own special expertise to maximize precision, accuracy, and effectiveness of your analysis and optimization plan. Arate isn't about treating symptoms or quick fixes. It's about unlocking your full potential and looking, feeling, and performing at your absolute best, physically and mentally, when the stakes are the highest. To learn more, visit aratelab.com. That's ARETE lab.com. Now, back to the show.
Yo, I almost never train in the evenings. It's just like not practical for my daily life. I have like 3 little kids, and training at like 7 or 8. That's bedtime. You can't do that, as you just mentioned. But on the show that we recorded with Perry last week, it was like one of the only shows where we really talked about training in the evenings and how you basically aren't supposed to do that. And then it was like that was the first night that in fucking years I had the opportunity to train in the evening, and I had skipped training earlier that day because one of my sons had trouble at camp and like had to come home. He was like super tired and just came home and crashed and fell asleep like in the early afternoon. So I didn't get to train that afternoon before I picked him up. And so even though that was like the first show in the longest time where we actually talked about training in the evening and how that's not a good idea, that was the first opportunity I had to actually train. I was like, oh, I don't care what Perry says. I'm training today.
Sure.
This is happening. I'm gonna fall asleep just fine.
Well, I definitely went for a walk yesterday evening. Like, I mean, I think nothing, I guess, prepares me to settle down more than a walk. You know, like a long, like a low intensity, steady state. I love what who was the guy who life was for walking. Who makes the shoes? The guy that we had on our shoulder, the older guy.
Mark Sisson.
Right.
Palooza.
Man, I love that. But like, I'd like to do it rucking.
Did you buy the shoes? You bought his book, right?
I bought his book, and I've been doing, you know, a lot of his protocols for the walks. I've been doing rucking now. I definitely don't run because I feel like for me to do running, I would need to get a running coach and make sure my technique is good. And you know, I don't feel good. But I've been doing some sprinting though, uphill. You know, I'll do some hills. I feel good about that. But long distance running was just, I was starting to mess with that, and I could definitely feel it in my back. And so I'm not doing that. But rucking, in my basement, I'll do a lot of the high intensity with sled pulling. So I'll go super hard for like pulling the sled, doing some carries, taking a break. And so I'll do anything like that. I'm just not going to necessarily do some jogging. That's the only thing that seems to have hurt me at all.
Yeah.
And so, not going to do that.
Yeah.
I want to, whatever makes me feel good. So, and there's a lot, as Andy will tell you, he'll even, you know, Andy will say, like, there's plenty of things you can do. And like, if you don't know how to run properly, then don't use running. Don't implement running in your 50s. That's probably not a good idea. So I agree.
I mean, I also think, especially if you're not built like a runner.
And I'm
like
not.
If you're like a prototypical runner, maybe you get away with it. Like you're made to do it, but you are very obviously built to be a power lifter as opposed to a runner, and so it's just not your thing. All you can do is bang yourself up.
No, but I do like, you know, rowing. I do like to do rowing. I like the Airdyne. That's one of my favorites. So I can go super hard on the Airdyne, and you know, for sprints. So I'll definitely do that. But just covering the 9 physical fitness characteristics. Maybe we should name them. It's like, so there's anaerobic and then there's aerobic. There is muscular endurance. There is power, speed, strength. Hypertrophy is one of them. So gaining some muscle. Probably. VO2 max
like agility, balance, coordination type stuff.
Oh yeah, skills. That's right. Definitely learning new skills is important. You know, just for the brain. But like, so and then he said yes. Then low intensity steady state was one of them too. So just like long endurance. But VO2 max, if you're talking about longevity, the number one predictor of longevity. So you have to consider Or that one as you get older. And so definitely doing that. And so you can't just do low intensity steady state and affect it as much as you can as if you actually understand like lactate thresholds and trying to push that along. So it
Yeah.
sucks. That
Dude,
sucks, but it's good.
not enough older people do max heart rate anything. Like
Yeah.
there's lots of people that will they'll go for a walk, they'll go for a ruck, they will go for jogs, but not a lot of people do high intensity interval training. And even if they do, a lot of times they don't actually really truly get to a like 100% heart rate max. They'll get to a higher heart rate by doing, 20-second intervals or whatever. But as far as like getting to the highest heart rate you're able to produce, I feel like that is very underutilized by the vast majority of the population. And I
Yes.
understand because doing that is tough.
It is super
It's
tough.
a painful experience to put yourself into a situation where your heart is beating as fast as it possibly can on a regular basis. Like you got to just embrace the suck and make it happen because it's not going to happen automatically. It's like it's a very difficult
No,
thing to talk yourself into week after week after week once you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s
it
and
is.
beyond.
You'll
Mhm.
see people, they'll do a Tabata and they'll go a little harder. And like that has nothing to do with like all out. Like a max means you go as hard as you possibly can go.
Yeah.
You'll see people say, "Oh, I'm doing hit training," and they'll jog a little faster. And that's has nothing to do with hit training. It means absolutely all you have, maximum. And so that's why the air down's amazing. So
Yeah.
you see like a lot of MMA fighters using the air down, and you can just crush that thing. And
Yeah.
it is hard, man. At first, you can't breathe, and like if you haven't had that sensation in a while, it's kind of scary. At first you can't breathe for a minute, and then you learn it's going to come back. You'll breathe, you'll be all right, and then I
Yeah.
start to
Get really
dig it.
comfortable on it after a while.
Yeah, you start to kind of dig that
Yeah.
because that,
It, once you it's like anything really. The first time you try it, you suck at the efficiency of it so much. And
yeah,
then sooner or later, your ass doesn't hurt for sitting on it for the period of time. Like
sure,
you also learn how to use your arms and legs together, which makes it so much more efficient than like fighting yourself. Um,
yeah.
the airline's great. You get to play little games on there too with the miles an hour or the way you're breathing. That's until there almost no form of training is fun for me until I understand what's going on enough that I can create little games inside the bigger game where it's like,
Agreed.
can I get 10 hard strokes on a rower every 30 strokes or 1 minute hard? Can I increase like there's always like even when I'm lifting weights, it's
The
like
game.
if I'm doing a set of 12, I'm really doing 4 sets of 3. Like
Mhm.
if I'm doing a set of like back in the day, like a set of 20 back squats. Like I have to get through 12 and I can't, and I have to mentally think that that's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life because I know the next 8 are going to be the hardest.
It's gonna be
Uh,
terrible, right?
and like I have to get through 12 squats and be fresh. How do I do that? That's the whole game to be played. Like
Yes.
uh, there's until I can create the little tiny games inside there, I'm miserable because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just very inefficient.
Totally. The cool
Mhm.
thing about having so many variables to shoot for is that there's always something you can improve. That's what and it was in is one of Andy's early when he started his own podcast. What's it called? Like, oh my gosh. Anyway,
The name
Andy
of the
Galvin.
show?
Yeah, his new podcast.
Oh, it's called Perform.
Yeah, perform. It was
Yeah.
like one of the early ones, and like once he started talking about all those different elements, it would just gave me so many things to shoot for, other than 1 RM max strength. And don't get me wrong, I'm still trying to get stronger, and I'm doing a pretty good job at continuing to get stronger. But there's so many having all those elements, like being able to go a little bit further, to go a little bit faster. To another one that I added, which he didn't talk about, which I think he probably should have, but about movement, about being able to move in a functional way is important.
Yeah.
Being able to, especially I think for people my age, at the hip especially, being able to internally and externally rotate to make sure you can do abduction, flexion, extension, is super important. And the more that I've focused on that, is allowed me to train for the first time and not get hurt. Something that even I wish when I was younger that I'd spent more time, with just moving, especially like isometrics, being able to hold certain positions. And this was Kelly Starrett is the one who told me about this. But
Hmm.
I've, for the first time in my life, in so many years of my life, I've never been able to improve my mobility. It's just been what it is. But by doing isometrics and holding certain positions with weight and like holding them and breathing through those positions, for the first time, I've actually gotten better at movement. And I'm 52. It's like, I, I just, part of me thought that that just wasn't in the cards for me, but it is.
Wait, give me a more specific example. Like, what exactly do you do?
Okay, so like I've never, for example, the Cossack squat. Like
Hmm.
there's a good video on YouTube of you teaching the Cossack squat, and like
Yeah.
I've never been able to do that. And over time, I've been holding that position with the kettlebell, and I'm getting better and better and better. And now I'm pretty good at that position. Not as good as you're, as efficient as you are. Like I have deep hip sockets. I'm not making excuses, but it's coming. But
Hmm.
even the depth of my squat now, like another example, like a 45-pound bumper plate, putting my feet on each side of it, holding the kettlebell to do a goblet squat and sinking into the bottom of a squat with my feet slightly past shoulder width. I can get into the complete bottom with a vertical spine and my keeping my knees aligned with my first two metatarsals. I wasn't
Yeah.
able to do that even in my 30s. Like I could barely get below parallel, which was great for powerlifting because you want to be able to get below, but barely. And so,
Yeah. I
Hmm.
like
but
that position.
I
I'm,
want
I'm actually I'm,
full range of motion
I'm
now.
actually kind of surprised to hear that from 20 years ago or whatever, because like you were a weightlifter for so long.
Yeah, but then I
I
switched to powerlifting and it messed me up.
yeah.
So
Okay, wait, so you
yeah.
had it and then you kind of lost it over time?
Oh yeah, from
Yeah.
powerlifting, gaining all that muscle and like, switching to low bar, sitting way back, it changed everything, because
Mm. Yeah.
obviously when you sit back, the reason you can go deep is hip flexion. And so
Yeah.
by immediately going into hip flexion and sitting back right there, now you're already starting to limit your range of motion. You do that over time and you go from squatting, say 650 to 900 pounds. Oh, well, raw. I went from in the
Yeah.
600s to 805 was my best. Over
Uh-huh.
time, that's a big change. And so then, yeah, it messed
Sure.
my range of motion up big time. And so, yeah. So even
Yeah.
when you first met me, and I could still
Yeah.
do Olympic lifting, and even then I was in my 40s and I did a 135 snatch, so 297, and I
Mm.
did a 170 clean and jerk, so 374. But the reason I couldn't get any better than that was because I couldn't get as deep as I could when I was younger. And so
Mm.
yeah, it definitely affected my range of motion. And then it got worse and worse because of my hips. And so,
Yeah.
but
Wait,
now it's real good.
what about upper body? Do you still have good overhead range of motion for can you do jerks normally as an
Oh yeah.
example?
And I can do
Okay.
overhead squats again. But when I first came back from powerlifting, man, I couldn't even do a front squat. Like I could not even get into that
Couldn't rack
position.
it.
No, not even close. And so, but over time, I was able to get that position back. But my hips were just ruined. I'm pretty sure by the time powerlifting was over, I'd already done so much damage to my hips. It was probably just the inflammation and just, you know, it was just damage was done and there was no going back from it. But now I'm moving great. It feels crazy too. 'Cause I'm like, I can't
Hmm.
even believe I can do this. So I enjoy mobility.
Yeah.
So
Wait, does it help to be a little bit lighter as well? To
I'm
have
sure it
having more
does.
range of motion?
Yeah,
Just a little bit
sure.
thinner?
Thinner and like the fact that I move more often, I'm sure that helps. And the fact that I
Hmm.
do it more often, the fact that I'm moving into those key positions more often, that
Right.
helps. But I will say this, holding positions between 20 to 30 seconds loaded and breathing through them is the key to, in my opinion, is the key to
Mm.
improving, one of the keys to improving mobility at a high rate. I think it's the high of all the things you can change movement patterns, the quickest through isometrics, I would bet. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've noticed
How many
crazy.
hours a week, or what's like your time domain, or how many days and those sessions are, like, how long are they that you're doing a week?
I'm doing my powerlifting 4 times a week, 3 to 4. If I'm like hurting, I have no problem of calling it. But my mobility pretty much daily.
Daily.
I'm going to do the certain positions isometrically daily, And now after yesterday, I'm going to try to do this first thing. I'm going to try to wake up, go do a little movement, and then do my cardio or my hit training first. So based on our boy uh blanked out. Uh Doctor, we talked to him yesterday. Help me
Perry?
out. Perry, yeah. Based on
Oh, yeah.
the Dr. Perry stuff from yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old man forgetting
This is
stuff.
the lowest of my entire life, like ever. Total like time of working out. It's like an hour a week, 2 sessions, 30 minutes. It's like
Uh
it's really
Okay.
crazy how little um
I mean, are you counting like chopping trees down and all the stuff you do in the woods these days? Like
oh
oh,
yeah.
like the
it's
extra
like
labor? You're a
yeah,
laborer
so
now. You're a
that's
fucking lumberjack over
precisely what
there.
I'm getting at is like I've turned it
Yeah.
all into like physical labor is like the thing that I am trying to do the most is like
Yeah.
getting out of the
Oh,
gym.
but that's different though. You're working out. I would count that as
And I
working
work
out.
out 7 days a week for 90 minutes a morning, but going to
Right.
the actual gym and um like lifting weights, I I I I feel like the my whole mindset around all of that has just turned into like structurally reorganizing everything
Yeah.
and like practicing the movement pattern, kind of like you're talking about, like a full range of motion and making sure everything just like moves properly. And then the game I get to go play is like hanging out with Doug, building my log cabin.
That's awesome
Hmm.
though. I mean, you're building your own log cabin. Like
Yeah.
like how
And that's
far
making
along
good
are you?
progress too.
Oh, it's good. I'm about ready to go build a roof. What I don't know how to do, but I'm gonna go figure it out.
Are you telling me that you're watching YouTube and literally building a log cabin?
Yeah, Doug did it with me.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, you got walls that are probably chest height at this point, all the way around.
Yeah, they're
Just
about at
chopping
this
trees
point,
down.
steep left. They're about 5 foot high, and then um I may go up another foot so that I can like walk through it because I'd like to put on a front porch to it with like an overhang, but that's more complicated. And then it'll be like a probably like a 4 foot tall roof, so it'll be 8, 9 foot inside. Just
What?
hang out.
That's amazing.
I gotta go put a door on it. Um,
And all from the trees that you've cut down. So like
me and an axe.
how much does it cost you? Just nails then?
Yeah.
What?
Well, it cost me nails and a whole bunch of blisters and a whole
Yeah.
bunch of time, and I had to go buy a whole new wardrobe, which literally is like the cheapest wardrobe. I went to Walmart and I bought all the white tees from Hanes. I bought
Yeah.
10 of them for 23 bucks, and it was by far the best purchase I have made since I moved into the woods. Like
Amazing.
they're actually wildly comfortable, and I don't care if they get destroyed because I've ruined like all my clothes out here. Um,
Well, working.
but but yeah, we're doing it. Doug got to come and hang out with me. It's the only time
Hmm.
I've had any help is moving those things around.
Can I come help build?
Come and hang out. I'll have you up on now that we're going high. I'll let you go climb the walls.
Yeah. Let me do something a little scary. That's good. I need it. So,
But I'm saying this for the first time on the show, but my next project, once this thing's done, is I'm building a gym in the woods of just trees. Like I'm gonna go find like a large 10 foot 10 foot long tree trunk and turn it into like a landmine that I clean and jerk and can squat and
I'm listening. This is
uh
amazing.
set up. I'm gonna dig holes and put stumps in them so that I can have like a level platform to stand on, and then I can do like squats and deadlifts and really
With
awkward
trees though.
with trees.
This is
And like
awesome.
hang them from my butt. It sounds nuts, but I was even when Doug was out here, I was talking, I was like, being out there and like having to move awkward, weird stuff in nature, is like really cool. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Do you
Uh,
do it every day? Is this part of like your
except the days
routine?
that I'll go to the gym. Yeah, I wake up at 6. I have a cup of coffee. By 6:30, I'm walking back with an axe and just go do it.
So spend like what do you do? Spend 90 minutes doing that and then you go do your work, Go do your
Yeah, then I
calls and
come
all that.
back. The kids are typically like moving around and starting to get out of bed at 8 o'clock. Then we just make breakfast and go do normal stuff. So it's all done before anybody gets moving.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, then we work. Then we
Then you
go get
work.
berries.
That's amazing. What an amazing life. Like, are you trying to be off the grid?
I mean, I have electricity and I have like general functions of life that I need
Yeah.
to, but the goal would be by the end of this year to be like 90% sustainable. So
Beautiful.
we slaughter our first cow uh in 4 weeks. And then I mean I have more fruit than I know what to do with right now. Like it's absurd. We're selling it like wholesale to farm stands and like trying to just like unload the number of blueberries that are in my house right now. And then we'll have 25 chickens to slaughter in a couple months. And then we get like 10 eggs a day from the other ones. And outside of that, I don't really need much. And then hunting season comes around. So I'm going to try and take down like 2 or 3 deer this year out of the backyard. And if I have, call it 200 pounds of venison, 500 pounds of beef, and an entire orchard and eggs, like a 10 to 12 eggs a day. I don't know what else I need. Ice,
Bro,
ice cream and bread. That's about
that
it.
might be my next step then. After now that I got this whole fit thing going, like next step, get into nature and learning new things. I'm at the point where I'd like to learn new things. Like building would be fun.
Yeah, the gym part, like real, I mean, the building part is very, very cool. Like I love going out there, but the next piece of it, like once I started like picking up, like when you pick up a tree, you have no idea
Yeah.
what I remember when we went to Paul Check's house and like Paul Check's exercise, like he did some gym stuff and like of course he's still a meathead, but like
Mhm.
he had these giant rocks that he would build like structures out of. And it was just like
Mhm.
picking up giant granite stones and moving them around. And like a lot of the times when I'm like lifting the trees, I post like the really cool ones where I can actually like clean and jerk these like 300-pound freaking monster trees. But like a lot of times I can't pick them up. So I have
Yeah.
to like bend over and walk with these things like 3 inches over the ground. And then I got to go figure out how can I pick it up and get it on some other tree to then push it from the back. So like there isn't a single like plane of motion or musculature that isn't, it's like, sounds absurd, but farm strength is like a real
Well,
thing.
well, Louis Simmons used to talk about the finish. You know, he was like, the finish. Anybody who never lifted with Finland, people from Finland, their
Mhm.
deadlifts are insane. Like they all. I remember in my very first pro powerlifting, Ano, it was Ano Tertianen. Anyway, he was
Mhm.
deadlifting 400 kilos. It was like 881. It was like
Yeah.
2 in the morning. Anyway, like he thought it was from their. They were a lot of them were woodsmen, and a
Yeah.
lot of loggers, and they would drag the woods out of the. And so he had this,
Yeah.
you know, he had this, I guess, hypothesis of like we needed to do more sled pulling, and so that's where he came up with the sled drag and all the and the work
Yeah.
capacity to build deadlifts. But I
Yeah.
don't know about that, but
Mm.
There's one dude that I couldn't even tell you how to find him on Instagram, but I get like tagged with his videos, not tagged, but like the search function or whatever is like, you need to watch this guy. And he is an absolute monster that does like crazy. He's out there in the middle of nowhere with like a very makeshift
yeah,
gym, squatting a bazillion,
I know
doing
exactly.
farmer carries all over the place with crazy farm equipment.
I know
Um,
exactly.
I
Is it
can't.
like Tom Hamlin? I think or
Yeah,
something like that.
that might be it actually.
I'm
Uh,
pretty sure
Mm.
and
he
that
is
dude
extraordinary.
is so farm strong, just like pure man strength. That like that. That's kind of like the goal.
Tom Haviland,
Yeah,
Haviland, Haviland.
Mm.
He's got a million
absolute
followers now.
monster.
Mm.
He is, yeah, he is the most extraordinarily strong human, like
And
in the
he just like
weirdest
it looks like
things.
he's just out there by himself, just going, well, I gotta go pick up these gigantic things and move them
Yeah.
across my property for no reason.
He's just huge, and he's got this. Doug, you got to check this dude out. Like, we got to get him on the show. He is so strong, but he just got this big
And I think
old.
he never posts his face if I'm
No,
just his back.
it's huge, and like
His back is so terrifying.
here he is doing his Zercher squat with like 600, 700 pounds. Like, it's absurd. Like, yeah, man. Like, I need to do more of that next year.
Yeah.
Step one.
But that's the
Step
goal.
one, get back in shape.
I feel like
Yeah.
once I started to have all the fun doing it, I was like, this is exactly like what I actually want, how I want to be lifting weights. Like the next progression of it to me is like kind of exactly like that dude does it, of just go pick up some really big stuff and move it.
Yeah, I still love, the thing I've never lost is like I still love lifting weights. But when I was at Sorenex and we did it was there's their Summer Strong 18.
Mm.
And all of a sudden I decided to jump in, and so they do squatting and deadlifting. And it
Yeah.
was like, and all of a sudden it was exhilarating again. And I hadn't back squatted forever. And I did a 250 kilo, it's 550 pound back squat, and the same for deadlift. I haven't deadlifted since I had surgery because it was bothering my back. And like, but it was so exhilarating to be able to be 52. I was like the only old man, all these young guys in there. And it just felt good to be in that crowd, and my wife's watching me, and I'm like, man, it would be super cool if my kids could watch once. If they could see me not just get strong, but to get really strong. And
Yeah.
look, and I have no
Hmm.
intention of being like the strongest in the world, but I have intention of being one of, like in the group. And
Hmm.
for them to see me like train hard, commit, to make good decisions. Like I haven't had any alcohol, like not drinking. And so instead of me saying, well, when I was a kid, I used to do this and I used to do that, they'll see it. They'll see it at least once in their lifetime. And then then if they want to do something amazing, then they will have seen what it takes. And so, and then they can decide, do I really want that or not? Because I know I coach so many kids who say, I want to be the best at this or I want to be the best at that. And then when you start telling them what it takes, they're like, well, maybe I don't. Odds are they don't. But my kids will see it once and then they can decide. They will know. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't come to me and say I want to be the best at something unless you really want to. So now they'll see it once. I'll see
Yeah.
it through one time. I'm going to do competitions. So I want to qualify at the end of this year and then do one big pro next year. And then that's it. So, but this is more for them. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, so how
Don't
much
you
do
love
they
it when
see?
people say it's for their kids when really Mash just wants to go and like
I mean,
like it's
there's
for my
no,
kids. I slit their throat for fun. I mean, it was for the kids.
no. I mean, I still love lifting, like don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. And I still love the
Mhm.
people cheering, but like there's so many times now where I could easily stay in bed or I could easily not go. But then
Sure.
now it's like I want them to see it. And so, but don't get me wrong, it was still fun. I still people cheering, that's fun. But the main goal, what gets me up in the mornings would be I want them to see it. I want them to see once. And so but it'll be tough, to be able to get a 52-year-old body to, you know, deadlift, squatting 7, deadlifting 7, and benching in 4s. It's going to take some work, but then they'll see it. But I'm not trying to get fat. I'm not trying to get, huge. But 198, I feel good about. That should have been my weight class anyway. Like,
Yeah.
220 it's just too much. Weighing 240 at 5'6" is crazy. It's like, dude, I
Yeah.
feel great at this weight. I feel athletic. I feel like I can do weightlifting if I want. So
That'd be fun.
Wait, yo,
yeah.
walk me through like how big were you like in 2000, 2005, 2010, like in 5-year blocks? Like
Well,
what was your biggest?
when I was like at the Limit Training Center in like 1998, 99, I was the 91 kilo class. And as you
Mhm.
know, it's a 2 hour weigh in. So you needed to stay, maybe I got up to 95 at the most, but 94 probably. Like, so I was like 207 at that point. So
Mhm.
then, when my dad gets sick, 2001, I'm walking away from weightlifting to be with my dad. I start deciding I'm going to get huge. So I went to the 220 class, but now I'm just barely weighing 220. Like I'm not a full. I go to my first pro. I qualify for the pro shows, WPO, and I go to Orlando, Florida. It was amazing because it was Ed Cohn, Chuck Vogelpool, like the
Yeah.
best of the best, all in one place. Jesse Kellum, Donnie Thompson. They were all there, and
Hmm.
I realized, even though I did pretty good, so I go to this first meet and I tied Chuck Vogelpool in my very first meet. And so, but he wins by body weight. So I totaled 2022 at 220. But we both got beat by this German guy. Anyway,
Mm.
but then that didn't last long. Then we started beating him. Then we started battling. So, but then I realized I'm giving up a lot of weight because those guys were weighing 240, 250, cutting to 220. So then
Yeah.
hypertrophy started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But the most I was weighing was 240, 245 and cutting but still 25 pounds. It was brutal. But
Yeah.
he looked like a skeleton when he would weigh in. But then he would, he'd put it back on. It was so then so 2005 when I'm winning, I'm probably weighing 245 to be honest. For the majority of the time, 240, 245 the most.
Hmm.
Um
Wait, so
but
how much curious how much you're weighing like the day before you weigh in, like before you
oh
water weight cut and all that. Are you water weight cutting
I
a significant amount?
Yeah, like it was the most unhealthy thing, because since we were 20, for some of them, it was 24-hour weigh in. So when we were doing I loved going to the USPF. It was the Mountaineer Cup was my favorite. But that's when Ed
Hmm.
Cohn and I got to go head to head because it was just 24 hours. But WPO is 48. And so like
Whoa,
people would
really?
do
Dang.
crazy stuff because you could
Yeah.
they using IVs to get back their weight, which I did too. So I would normally cut, honestly, I would probably get down to within 10 kilos. So I was the week of, I'm cutting 10 kilos, so 22 pounds, the week of the meet. And the day
Yeah.
before, I'm probably, got two and a half to go. Then rolling in, I would weigh 100 kilos on the dot every single time. I never got below 100.0 kilograms. And it was
Hmm.
it was so brutal. And then my final meet, here's what ended it. In
Yeah.
2007, I decided I'm going to go 198 one more time. And because that's when I was starting to do the bobsled. So I'd gotten pretty lean. Like I said, I had abs. And I get right there and I'm in the sauna. And all of a sudden I
Hmm.
drop. I see this bead of sweat goes off my nose and then it floats into the air. And I'm like, I'm hallucinating. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And that's the last thing I remember. So then I pass out, and then my friend Chris Mason and his wife, find me in the sauna out,
Yeah.
like
Oh shit. In the
heat
sauna.
stroke in the
Yeah.
sauna. Not good. If they hadn't found
Yeah.
me, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm assuming I'd have died. So they take me to
Yeah.
the hospital. They give me IVs. And the smart thing to have done would just pull out, but I still competed. But I went up, I went to the 100 kilo class. It was bad. Everything just went terrible. My opening
Yeah.
squat, I get kind of pushed forward. I break a rib. I'm starting to
Oh.
bleed internally. I mean, honestly, it was the best going out party ever. It was like, I mean, like blood coming out of my mouth. I keep going. The bench, I'm hurting my shoulder, but I finished the meet. But it was like I knew it was over. It hurts.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I looked like I needed to. It was time. It was time. It was
Yeah.
an easy decision to retire because I'm like, you had a heat stroke, you broke a rib, you're bleeding internally. It's time. And like, so
And now you're back.
yeah, I'm back for one more round. So
I can't wait to get back out there, guys.
oh, but I can say this.
Good
Like
times.
it'll be 24-hour weigh-ins and it's going to be 198 and I'm not going to get like right now I'm weighing like 208 and that's what I'm going to be. I'm like it's not going to be a massive cut. So what's that,
Yeah.
10 pounds? So I can handle that.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
already there. I'm not going to I'm good. I feel great. I'm not going to do anything that's going to, if my health at all starts to go sideways,
Yeah.
then I will. That would be the one thing I won't do that. What am I teaching my kids then? That
Yeah.
you're going
Yeah.
to kill
For sure.
yourself?
I
No.
actually, do you think that if you had the same mentality, call it 20 years ago, that you do now, but like without the idea that you needed to like do all this crazy shit
Mm,
that was like, do you think you would have been what percentage of like the crazy person do you think you could be by having just like a healthy
mm.
mentality and being healthy as a like cardiovascularly efficient human?
I
Like,
don't
how much do you
know.
think the craziness added to your back squat?
A lot. Because it
You think
was
so?
like, yeah, because when you put, especially like when you put equipment on and you're putting 1,000 pounds, or even when you put 805 pounds on your back raw, and because at that point, that's when things, you see people snap both patellas and,
Yeah.
all these crazy accidents. And that, like every power lifter, when they're putting that weight on, they know, okay, I'm at the point of like things can go really bad. And like that crazy, love that this oh my this part of me inside, it was like embraced that and loved it and like
Yeah.
so, can I do that now? I don't know, like because sometimes I will find myself like, oh boy, because now
Yeah. It's not worth it.
I'm in the 600s now and I'm like and then I get mad and I'll push through it now. And so when I
Yeah.
put the first 700 pound on my back, we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Sometimes I still have that, but it's not always. So we'll see. Like,
Yeah.
will it come back and will it only be there when I need it? We'll find out. But we're gonna go one more time. And F it. If this is what blows my knees out, then it's what blows it out. What a great way to go out. So, that's where I'm
So,
at. I'm gonna see it through. I'm gonna see it through, crazy or not. But
yeah.
I'm gonna show my kids what it takes. And like maybe that gets me hurt. Well, they'll see. Like, even if you want to be a great football, basketball, whatever you want to be, when you're at that very end, then it's dangerous. Race car driver, sprinting, like when you're the best in the world at anything, you're you're at any moment gonna get hurt. Usain Bolt, Johan, Blake, the sprinters. When you're at the end goal, you're at the verge of injury. So do you really want that too? I did. I still do. So do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It's
still,
interesting though. Like, the reason I ask is because like, and if maybe it's because I was like more focused on like Olympic lifting, which is sort of like technically not that squatting and deadlifting isn't, but like in order to do Olympic lifting, there's like you can get yourself so fired up to deadlift. Like
right,
you can just be in another planet on
right.
craziness to pull that thing off the ground. Um, you can't really do that when you're doing like a 1 RM snatch in front of a lot of people.
I
Like,
don't know, man. Think about this. Let me flip this on you. When you're a guy like Hampton Morris and you weigh 61 kilos, say he weighs 134 pounds,
yeah,
you're pulling under 400 pounds. What kind
yeah,
of what kind of balls do you have to do that? I ask.
yeah. So it's not the ball.
Massive.
It's yeah, massive,
Because it
gigantic.
could blow out your
It's
back and
tall.
knees out at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
What that guy does, I can't even fathom. I couldn't even imagine what 4 bills feels like landing on your shoulders
and
and
now
then
weigh 60 something
driving you
kilos.
straight through a floor. Like,
Yeah.
no idea. And weighing when I cleaned 318, which was the biggest clean of my life, like John Cena was standing next to me. Like that was like the the,
Yeah.
the pinnacle of like craziness.
That dude
There's
snatches it. Like,
zero chance that I'm not getting just I'm going so far down, putting 400 on my shoulders with it falling that I'm going to the center of the earth. I'm gonna go in the core of the earth. It's driving me
yeah.
so hard. But what I'm getting at is like in the mindset of it, the craziness I think helps a lot when you
Mm.
watch powerlifters, especially back in the day when they were using all the
Oh,
gear, all
yeah.
that stuff. Like this,
Yeah.
all of that. With the Olympic lifting, there is the intensity, but I think that it's more focused.
It is.
Technicalities
It
of that.
is.
Like you don't see. There's one guy that I remember watching lift in his basement. He was like Polish. He had like bleach blonde hair, and it was the most intense weightlifter I had ever seen. Like, because most of the time, when your name's not John North or Schenkel way back in the day, it seems like so poetic watching like the Chinese
Yeah.
lift weights.
Yeah.
It's not like smelling salt and screaming and like,
Mm-mm.
but that is very much like the powerlifting vibe. Um, so that's more what I'm want. Like I can
I,
see you getting fired up and like growling at a barbell, but even today, but it's the focus side of it and like the
it's
connection to
beautiful.
the barbell, like those are the pieces that I think. Do you think that you had that when you were trying to like force everything through
Mm.
intensity and like the attitude side of it, or do you think that you have more of that now?
I think I have more of that. I think I would love to have been somewhere between where I'm at now and where I was then. I think if I would have had more structure in my life and I'd been more balanced, I feel like I would have. And I just, it's funny we talk about this because this morning I was talking with my chiropractor about this very question. I think I would have been way better. I think I would have set a total that would have never been beaten. And I was so close to it, but I just was so crazy. I blew myself up before I was able to actually
Yeah.
elicit that on the platform. If I just like Ed Cohn was so much more balanced in his
Yeah,
life.
I was gonna bring him
Yeah.
up. He always seemed and still even when we interviewed,
Yeah.
he was just like the most important thing is just feeling the barbell,
Yeah.
feeling the weight. Like I wanted
He
to
was
see
so
how heavy
balanced.
it was on my
Yeah.
body. And I didn't even know you back in the day, but I know you now, and I can imagine that you grabbed it as hard as you could and just tried to strangle it. And then it was like there was just more, call it, I don't want to say anger, but that intensity was
Yeah.
like more directed in like an angry-ish
It
type
was
way.
it was a dark, not good.
Yeah.
His life was balanced. He told me so many times, and like he said so many times, compete no more than twice a year, take 6 months, and just do bodybuilding. If I'd taken that approach, I have no doubt I would have done way better. It would have been a much bigger
But
total.
I feel like he's much more rare than you though. Like extreme people do extreme things. Like
Yeah,
maniacs become world champions. Like there's very few like very balanced people that like have every aspect of their life equally well put together because they're
he's
doing
unique,
quote unquote things right. Those people
right?
don't become world champions. They lead great lives, very responsible, very successful in many ways, good
Yeah,
family life. They don't get divorced. That's all great for many reasons,
yeah.
but they're not usually world champions. Usually world champions fucking sacrifice everything
I
and
just
many areas of their lives are in shambles, but they're fucking really, really, really good
that
at the
was me.
thing that they're the best at.
Yeah, I know. I wish I'd just been a little bit, not completely like him, because I did like the fact of, I embraced that. I needed that. I needed to exercise that inner anger. I needed somewhere to put that. But I do wish I'd been a little bit, if I would just been a little bit not as crazy. It could have gone longer. I just pushed too far, too fat. And like in 2005 when I was winning. So I beat his total in 2004. I beat it again in 2005. I just wanted to keep beating it. If I would have just chilled, I would have destroyed it. And I just couldn't let well enough alone. I just wanted to keep competing. I wanted to just keep, if I just twice a year, I would have destroyed it. The
Mhm.
total I should have done is what hurts me. It's like, it should have been so much more than, the 24-14 I did. Like in theory, it hurts me to say, like I did 1,035 squat. I did a 785 bench and I did an 815 deadlift. Add those up. It would have been a total never heard of
Mm.
again. It hurts me. I left a lot, out there. And then Lord knows if people said, yeah, but equipment, if we'd have gone raw, it would have been worse. It's like I'm much better raw. These people, I had a guy in my own gym. He could raw bench barely over 400 pounds. I could do 535. You put the bench shirt on, he benches the same as me. That drives me like raw would have been awesome. Like if I could have just focused on that, then I don't know. I would have loved to put up the massive raw total, but who knows? Hey, listen at me. I'm starting to sound like the same guy.
Ready to go. There's gonna be a vein coming off his head soon. Right?
Like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do some big numbers, and so I assume it'll end in something terrible. But there's something about that I like.
Slightly below terrible. Do that.
Yeah.
I want that,
Hey,
man.
man.
Some massive
Make-
injury would be cool.
Makes life exciting.
It does,
Yeah.
man.
If you're gonna do it for your kids, don't tear your knee off underneath 600 pounds.
Oh, it won't be 600. It'll have to be
700.
600 pounds can't hurt me. So we're gonna do way more than that. So it'll be in the sevens. So
Travis Bash, where can the people find you?
yeah, matchelite.com. If you guys are local, you can see me at Rise Indoor Sports. Email me, Travis at Rise Indoor Sports if you're local, North Carolina. But matchelite.com. Thank you. This is fun. So
Yeah, man.
look at my face is red. I'm like, right.
You need to go get that man some pre-workout.
It's still. I took pre-workout for this podcast.
You knew where it was going, man. You knew.
Yeah.
You had no water.
I did.
And, thin it out a little bit. Just took it. Just the first 10 minutes, there was powder coming out of his mouth.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You're an extreme person in a good way. That's why you're taking fucking pre-workout before you talk with your friends on video calls.
I know. Who else does that?
It's fantastic. Yo, I've known you for a long time. It's always fun to hear more of your story, getting all the background all the details that I don't know yet. So very fun. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas E. Larson.
I'm Anders Varner at Anders Varner, and we are Barbell Shrugged at Barbell_Shrugged. And make sure you get over to rapidhealthreport.com. That is where Dan Garner, Dr. Andy Galpin are doing a free lifestyle and performance analysis, and you can access that over at rapidhealthreport.com. Friends, we'll see you guys next week.